Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Jason again with my own top 5 worst predictions that I found after doing some research. So just like the ones from class, these could not be any more false. So let's kick it off with number 1. The quote is, "If anything remains more or less unchanged, it will be the role of women." Now this was a quote given by David Reisman, who was an American social scientist, to Time magazine in 1967. The reason why I chose this is because looking today, the role of women directly parallels that of men to some extent, and this time period in 1967 followed the early 60s of the civil rights movement, where Martin Luther King led African Americans to equality. So with their movement, who's to say that women couldn't do the same later? Moving on to 2. This is given in The Origin of Species by Charles Darwin. He claimed, "I see no good reasons why the views given in this volume should shock the religious sensibilities of anyone." So, as you know, the whole creation-evolution debate is still hotly talked about. In my opinion, I think Darwin threw this into his text to kind of steer away from that dichotomy, and my reasoning for that is that he had to have known that he was challenging creationary beliefs. The fact that it's saying humans descend from primates instead of being put on earth by God in the form of Adam and Eve, that is completely nonsense. He literally states the exact opposite in his text. So, moving to 3. In regards to HIV, a doctor here at UC Berkeley claimed that virus is a pussycat. HIV is perhaps one of the most dangerous viruses you contract. Over 35 million people now have the disease that leads to AIDS, and the fact that this virus is the human immunodeficiency virus, that suggests that this should not be messed with. Like, this virus is serious, and calling it a pussycat is just not smart at all. Going to my 4th, what can be more palpably absurd than the prospect held out of locomotives traveling twice as fast as stagecoaches? And that was in the Quarterly Review, March of 1825. So stagecoaches, big coach pulled by horses, could only go as fast as the horses could go, could only carry as much as a horse could carry or pull. And saying that a steam engine of a locomotive could not improve on travel or on cargo is nonsense as well. The fact that a machine couldn't beat an animal it's just not sensible, in my opinion. And rounding it out, 5. Airplanes are interesting toys, but of no military value. This is by a professor of strategy in Spain from 1904. If you look at warfare today, planes are a key element, whether shipping soldiers, dropping bombs, carrying cargo, and the fact that this professor of strategy, whatever you want to call him, saw no military value in it, that's very, very ignorant to overlook that planes and their role in war today is just amazing. From the bombing of Pearl Harbor to the A-bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, planes are a huge key to war nowadays. So those are my top 5. Until next time.